What is up, guys? Brand Gaming here, bringing you a Nightwolf breakdown, tutorial, and combo guide. I purposely kept Nightwolf blind. I didn't want to watch anything with him. I wanted to discover everything on my own. Right now, I think he's a really solid, about mid-tier character. He doesn't do anything that's like, whoa, that's crazy, I've never seen it before. But he does have some really interesting stuff that I think, if you put in enough time, you'll definitely get some good results with him. So, if you look at some of his strings first, we got Blade and Edge, which is 1-1-2. High mid overhead, and I like this one because it's +1 on block, so you do get a little bit of pressure. It's not anything like amazing. Then you got Ancestral Rites, which is back 1-3-2. I like that one because back 1-3 is a stagger, and you can also special cancel on back 1-3. You can do that into like the bow as well. And if you just do back 1-3 a lot, your opponent, it's not super safe on its own. Actually, I don't think it's safe at all, but when you start to condition your opponent to back 1-3, you can start throwing in the end of the string to catch them when they try to punish you. And it does get an awful lot of distance away, which is going to be good for later on. Then you got Deadly Dance, which is forward 1, 2-1-2. And that one, the timing's a little bit different. You're going to do forward 1-2, and by the time the second hit connects, you want to make sure you have the last two buttons pressed. And then similar with Violent Divide, it's almost the exact same thing, except it's forward 2-1, 2-1. So it gets a little bit confusing at the very beginning. When you pick up Nightwolf, you're going to make sure you got the right strings going. This one's nice because it starts overhead. And I think after that, it's just all mids. Now, the actual Violent Divide itself is not safe on block. You can, however, do special cancels on the second and third hit. So, oops. Or something like that. We'll cover that a little bit more here in a little bit. Then you got forward 2-1-4, which is Bull and Bear. I like that one because it's safer on block and it's easier to do for when you're starting out with the game with Nightwolf, and it also gives you walk-up pressure when they're on the floor, which is good for Nightwolf. Then you got Deadly Talon, which I like this one because it's I think it's double high overhead, but it's actually pretty quick. And if the last move hits, you get a Crushing Blow, which is a nice little launcher. You need to capitalize on it. And again, that's another combo string that leaves Nightwolf able to walk up on the opponent when they're down, so it gives Nightwolf a good advantage. Then you got back 3-4, down 4. Mid, low, low. I like this one because, again, it leaves Nightwolf to walking over on their opponent when they're down. Which is similar, but you're actually able to special cancel to whatever you want. So it's kind of like a trade, especially once you see it later on with Nightwolf doing stuff like his bow and arrow cancel. Gives you options. Then you got Rising Tomahawk, and this variation, which is Madoka Warrior. It's called Nature's Call because it's the default template, but I just use the competitive template. I just didn't change the name. So this is Madoka Warrior. So you got Rising Tomahawk, which is a nice solo launch, but if you meet a burn it, it's straight up combo time, which I really like about Nightwolf. Then you got Rhino Charge, which is like a staple for this character, which I've always really liked. And then the meter burn is the overhead knockdown. And if you just do the enhance on its own, and only the second hit connects with the opponent on the ground, it leads to a free combo. So that's kind of the basics with Nightwolf. Let's go ahead and go into more advanced stuff like my BNBs and how I play online and whatnot. I've actually done pretty well with Nightwolf so far. I think it's just because people don't understand him yet. But let's go ahead and look at one thing I forgot to mention is just back 2. He just does like a straight up Ryu like Shoryuken. It's really nice because it's a launcher for free, which leads to a free combo. And, you know, Nightwolf, like, he's not a huge damage machine at first until you start to understand that he's an absolute beast in the corner, in my opinion. I mean, I'll be able to back up my words here in a little bit. Let's see, I want to see if I can get my... Oh, I'm sure I can. I just need to get used to the timing. Like I said, I'm pretty rusty with Nightwolf. I mean, he's only been out for, like, less than a full day. But, I mean, I've already seen some pretty cool stuff with him. So, some B&Bs I do. I use Violent Divide an awful lot. I just like having the overhead option. And like I said, I can special cancel it on the third hit. So, I use my Rising Tomahawk Meter Burned, which then I'll either go up and do 3-1-2. So basically it's going to look like... Oh, wow. I'm so rusty. I like just woke up and started making this video. Holy cow. Oh, Nightwolf. And then I'll start walking over on something. So that's a pretty standard one I do. And then again, you got your back 1-3. Similar story. You do a little bit less damage, but you get the low mix-up, or something with like this one. And I mean, each one does a little bit less damage, but you get different options. Another thing I really like about Nightwolf is his arrow cancel. It's just back forward 1, which is your bow. And if you double tap down, you cancel it. So if I'm doing something like, I see them blocking, I'm gonna cancel it into a grab. Or if I go like, you know, oh. Constantly mixing your opponent and trying to get some pressure. And his damage, like I said, in the mid screen is not really where he excels. And people are gonna, I'm sure once the character is a little more fleshed out, I'll probably be proven wrong. But I really like going into the corner with Nightwolf, and I'm going to show you why. I think he dominates in the corner. Let's see. And one thing we haven't covered yet is Spirit of Shiba, which is a buff. So let's do some basic stuff here. So let's just do down 2. On average, it's 14% with the buff of Shiba. It becomes 16%, and then if you meter burn Shiba, you do 17.5%. So each one does more damage. So some combo strings you can like knock your opponent down and try to do Shiva. I mean, if your opponent's not going to respect you, it's not safe at all. I'm not saying like, hey, go in there and just do Shiva at the end of every combo string, but I mean, if you're full screen and you like, I don't know, you do something like this. Shiva's pretty safe to use, but like I said, I mean, there's going to be a lot more strategy involved in that later on. So why I like Nightwolf so much in the corner, we're going to go ahead and clear up some of these move lists just to see what I'm talking about. I'm going to be using this one a lot, Howling Wolf, and then I do a lot of 1-1-1, a lot of Rhino Charge, obviously a ton of Rising Tomahawk, Spirit of Shiba, no doubt. Oh, Spirit of Kiba. My bad. And then let's make sure we get our Fatal Blow locked and loaded here. Then we can do easy crushing blows as well. So, you got your opponent in the corner, and that's another thing I didn't even really cover. Let's go back to the center real quick, because I just want to make sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I would say that Nightwolf has some of the best corner carry that I've seen in the game, especially with like one of our BNBs, which is starting with like the Great Divide, the Rising Tomahawk into 1, 2, but 3. Oh my goodness, I didn't want that. I don't want to start doing that yet. Oops. So Great Divide into Rising Tomahawk into 3, 1, 2. Look how far you've pushed your opponent into the corner, which is going to leave Nightwolf obviously open to jump-ins or low startups or whatever. So you do get some great corner carry on every combo ender, which is what I said. I think he thrives in the corner. But so you put on Spirit of Kiba for your damage buff. you're gonna be using an awful lot of Howling Wolf in the corner. So let's do something that we've been doing for a while, like the Great Divide into Meter Burn Tomahawk. 3-1, 1-1-1, shoulder charge. Which is 34% on its own. I mean, good lord, that's a lot of damage. Now if you do the Kiba buff, it's 38%, and you can easily end that with a meter burn, or you can do like a jump in. For 42%. So now you start to see why I said Nightwolf's a corner beast. And if you double buff Kiba, you just did 40%, but it was even easier for you. I didn't even do my launch that time. No. I did 43%, and we haven't even used our Fatal Blow stuff yet. So let's see here. $57%. Pretty easily, too. And, you know, when you're doing a ranked mode and a ranked match or whatever, they're not really going to let you just do Spirit of Kiba for free. And one thing I did learn is if you do Spirit of Kiba meter burn, you can do Spirit of Kiba again, but you go back to the to the previous level of power. You don't get like an extra damage buff, which is weird, but you can't do Spirit of Kiba into Spirit of Kiba meter burn. It's an odd little thing. I'm not sure how that's going to come into handy. It probably won't, but I thought for sure that'd be like a secret level 3 of power, but it's not. It just goes back down to level 1. It's a little bit odd. But let's see what else we got. Like, something I'll do online if I can is just the fact that you do like Great Divide and you do Howling Wolf into Axe Blast. It's just so much damage on its own. It's nuts. But if you got jump-ins, you can do Howling Wolf. Howling Wolf. Sometimes you can do that twice into Axe Blast. Or just into your shoulder charge. And then the fact that your opponent's in the corner, one thing I do, because it gives you mix-up opportunities. So if you did Spirit of Kiba, 40% into a walk-up grab, you've just done 55%. Or in certain in certain arenas where you got like an interactable in the back. Oh, that didn't work. I'm sure it'll work here in a second. 41%. I mean, he does do some sick damage in the corner, and I really like that about Nightwolf. I don't want to like keep going on about stuff that I'm not 100% certain about. It's just day one, Nightwolf, but my general summary of him is he's going to do an awful lot of damage in the corner, and he has great corner carry. And he's got some good footsies and stuff like the double mid to kind of keep you in check. He's always going to be able to mix it up with the bow. And then he's got crushing blows on both sides of his throws. They just have to guess wrong once, and you get a crushing blow on each one. So, I mean, Nightwolf's not bad. I think, like I said, he's a very, like, kind of straight up the road, mid-tier character at this point. I can't wait to see where he goes from here, but hopefully that gives you guys a bit of a better understanding of at least how I play Nightwolf. Like I said, I'm not a pro or anything, but I think it kind of definitely helps. I'm also curious about his hop kicks. I haven't even seen them yet. This one's not bad. What about him? Oh, that one's kind of meh. And also one thing I noticed about Nightwolf is his down pokes are not amazing. They're okay, but yeah, he's definitely going to be more of a push you in the corner, let you hang yourself with a mistake, and then just eat your lunch when you don't know what's going on. That's kind of my Nightwolf summary. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Yeah, he's a really solid character. I'll be doing some ranked with him in the near future. But thank you guys very much for tuning in. This has been Baron Gaming during a Nightwolf breakdown. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.